Now, the great thing about this time capsule is it's made of very strong plastic, so hopefully this time it's not gonna rot.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Blue Peter disasters.
Until very late in the day, Socks was ahead, and then there was a late search for Cookie, and the technical people thought maybe someone was trying to rig the vote.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're going to be looking at failures and controversies that have struck Blue Peter over the years. Let us know which of these you remember from your childhood. Number 10. 0 viewers. Part of what makes Blue Peter so enduring is that it's been more or less the same since the 1960s. The presenters may change along with kids' interests, but they're still going to have pets and present you with objects they made earlier. But this might not be working any longer, as on one fateful day in 2017, Blue Peter recorded 0 viewers. In fairness, the broadcast in question was at 2:30 in the middle of June, with kids all at school, but it still led to many calls to cancel the show. The BBC has not done this, instead saying that Blue Peter remains successful on demand, but it's still a very clear decline.
So on behalf of everyone here on Blue Peter, we'd actually like to award you with our highest accolade. It is the gold Blue Peter badge for your Royal Highnesses.
Thank you very much.
That's very touching. Thank you very, very much.
Connie Hook would have never gotten 0 viewers.
Because a week ago, Konnie celebrated 10 years on Blue Peter.
Happy anniversary, Con!
I feel really old now. It's all good.
Number 9. Socks versus Cookie. One of the more memorably weird scandals to hit Blue Peter, in 2007, it was the job of viewers to name the new Blue Peter kitten.
Here we go. When I press this button, we will reveal the 8th Blue Peter kitten. Here we go. The suspense. Which is it going to be?
What's it going to be?
It's not Mabel who's going through shop.
It is Socks!
Socks, there it is!
Oh, look at Socks!
It was named Socks, but all the viewers who voted in the online poll knew that the true winner was Cookie. Showrunners claimed both that they thought the name Socks suited the kitten better, and that they were suspicious of Cookie gaining a lead at the end of the poll.
Until very late in the day, Socks was ahead, and then there was a late search for Cookie, and the technical people thought maybe someone was trying to rig the vote.
Though it all seems ridiculous in hindsight, at the time people viewed it as cold, hard evidence that dishonesty was rife in the BBC.
BBC's view is that you should not mislead your viewers, particularly if they are children, and that this was a very bad idea indeed.
To placate the public, an editor was sacked and a second kitten was brought on. This one was named Cookie.
And the new set isn't the only new thing around here. Check out this little fella. This is our brand new kitten, Cookie. He's only 13 weeks old.
Number 8. Millennium Time Capsule.
It was 29 years ago on Monday the 7th of June 1971 that the presenters of the time, Valerie Singleton, John Noakes and Peter Purvis, went out of the studio to plant our tree and bury our first box for the year 2000.
Blue Peter has buried many time capsules over the years, burying one as recently as 2018, containing a fidget spinner and a list of endangered animals. But the 1998 time capsule has had a strange life. It was buried underneath the Millennium Dome, which was itself a failure of epic proportions, but was mistakenly dug up and damaged by builders in 2017.
And the good news is that thanks to lots of help, we've managed to save much of the material from both boxes.
It wasn't due to be opened until 2050 and contained items like an insulin pen and some Teletubbies.
Our time capsule that's buried underneath the Millennium Dome was put together by Blue Peter viewers, and it's things that they loved in the 20th century that they thought children in the 21st might like to see.
Interestingly, this did mean the Millennium Capsule was in the ground for 19 years, while the 1984 capsule was unearthed after just 16, though this was when it was supposed to open. The capsule toured the country and is now in storage. Number 7. Garden Vandalism. Senseless vandalism is always frustrating. Even if nobody gets hurt, the vandals still cause a lot of distress and leave other people to clean up their mess. But vandalizing the Blue Peter garden in 1983 shocked a generation of children.
The really cruel thing they did was to pour fuel oil into the fish pond. Well, we've drained the pond and we've rescued some of the fish, but a few of them have died.
Though some bizarre rumours have consistently circulated that the footballers Les Ferdinand and Dennis Wise were responsible, they've both vehemently denied it.
And if that wasn't enough, they then trampled on the bedding plants as well.
Years on, the vandals haven't been caught, though the incident remains a popular question in interviews with Ferdinand and Wise. Remarkably, this wasn't the first time this happened. The garden was vandalised in 1978 too.
Here are the survivors. It really is an absolute miracle that they have survived.
Number 6, Petra's lookalike. If you thought giving a cat the wrong name was bad, wait until you hear about how Petra, the first Blue Peter dog, was actually replaced.
And with her candle-lit cake and all her cards and presents here in the studio, Petra really is having a memorable 12th birthday.
This was revealed in the bombshell 2008 memoir from Biddy Baxter, who edited Blue Peter between 1965 and 1988.
It was on our Christmas programme in 1962, and amongst the presents around the tree was a large box covered in Christmas paper with a special Blue Peter label.
After the puppy was introduced in Christmas 1962 and revealed to the public, it unfortunately died just 2 days later. Baxter and the other producers had an impossible choice: either disclose the truth to the public or find a doppelganger. They did the latter, and no one ever noticed. Indeed, this switcheroo would have continued to be totally unknown had Baxter not included it in her book. This Petra served on Blue Peter for 15 years.
Well, I think she looks in splendid condition, considering she's 12 years old now. No, in fact, it's hard to imagine looking at her that she is such a very old lady.
Number 5, Christopher Trace.
Time for another book. This is a collector's item. It's the first Blue Peter book with the 1962 presenters on it: Christopher Trace, Valerie Singleton, and the first Blue Peter dog, Petra.
You may have heard over the years that one of the first Blue Peter presenters, Christopher Trace, was reprimanded by the BBC for teaching children how to make alcoholic drinks. This isn't exactly true, however. Trace did give children a recipe for ginger beer, which is easy to find and make without any alcohol, and it was an alcohol-free version he showed off. Somehow, though, this anecdote took on a life of its own, and it was alleged for years that Trace had taught children how to make boozy cocktails. However, Trace was eventually let go when he cheated on his wife with a Norwegian teenager in the late 60s.
I'm sure lots of mums and dads will remember Christopher Trace on Blue Peter, and everybody here at the BBC will have happy memories of him.
Number 4, Lulu the Elephant. Though Blue Peter has a long history of working alongside all kinds of animals, you just can't predict what they're gonna do when they're in the studio. That was the case with Lulu the Elephant calf, brought on in 1969.
Here she comes. What's the matter, baby?
He doesn't want to leave us. Hello.
Here, off you go.
Baby elephants are famously juvenile, behaving like overgrown toddlers, which is why Lulu caused so much chaos.
Oh, we're having a slight penny down here. A slight problem.
Get out of the way, I think.
You're supposed to be drinking it, Lulu.
Though perhaps she was stressed by being in the studio environment. Whatever the cause, Lulu decided she needed the toilets and emptied her bowels and bladder right in front of Valerie Singleton.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. Can you?
Yes, maybe I'll just stand back a little bit. Oh, dear.
The very same year, and John Noakes also had trouble keeping two penguins, Rocky and Hoppy, under control.
Underneath this top layer of feathers, there's another layer of down, and because these top feathers are so very... Whoops, losing them completely around the back of everything here.
Number 3, Richard Bacon. Yet another animal-based mishap, Richard Bacon was sacked from his job as a Blue Peter presenter after some explosive accusations were made.
But there was also some sad news. You'll no doubt have heard that Richard is no longer on the programme.
Bacon denied the animal-related part of the allegations to this day, but he was still sacked and the BBC issued an apology for his behaviour.
One of the Sunday newspapers reported that Richard Bacon, a Blue Peter presenter, had taken an illegal drug. Richard admits that he has done this, and that he very much regrets it.
The story was that he had taken substances off the back of one of the Blue Peter tortoises in 1998. Bacon's substance problems are well known, and he's spoken about his struggles with addiction in 2019. But he still always said that the story about the tortoise isn't true.
Why did you leave? What happened?
It was also published by the News of the World, which never had a stellar reputation for telling the truth.
Do you remember Fred and Frida, the tortoises on Blue Peter?
Yeah.
Big white lines.
What, he gave them Coke?
I didn't give any tortoises Coke,
Oh.
right?
Number 2, Michael Sundin. Blue Peter is often very cagey about why it lets certain presenters go. That's what happened when Michael Sundin was sacked from his short-lived role as a presenter in 1985.
First, though, a journey back in time to the land of Oz.
Blue Peter veterans, including editor Biddy Baxter again, said that Sundin was just unpopular with the audience. However, Sundin himself said at the time that the kids did like him.
Unlike other birds, Donald Duck enjoys the snow, and in one of his films he goes sledging, and it's with disastrous results.
To boot, his firing came shortly after the tabloids published pictures of him with a male stripper. Sundin was gay, and it's widely rumoured that this is the real reason he was fired in the 80s. He tragically died just 4 years later of AIDS-related illness before he reached 30. Number 1, phone-in scandal. The BBC was hit with a monumental £50,000 fine in 2007 when an Ofcom investigation found it had faked a phone-in competition.
Tony Blair has told television companies they must ensure that phone-ins are trustworthy and reliable.
Producers blamed a technical error for the gaffe, saying that the actual phone-in calls couldn't be accessed.
Says that a series of persistent computer problems over several years meant viewers' money was collected, but their votes were lost.
A random child who just happened to be in the studio then called in on set and was declared the winner. Aside from the dishonesty, Blue Peter also fleeced its viewers of the costs of the calls. While the competition was raising money for UNICEF, it was still deemed totally unfair. Along with other broadcasters, the BBC was caught up in the premium phone line scandal that led to a reform in the way these competitions are conducted.
Tomorrow, all of the terrestrial broadcasters will meet with the regulator to discuss change. The message is clear. Viewers deserve better.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.